Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It's a weekly reading. How are you, my water family? How are you, my two fishes friends? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Pisces, we're doing a reading today and we're doing it about your reset. That's what we're talking about because as you watch this reading, if you are watching it on the 20th of February, we are talking about the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries at 0 degrees. Now look, if you're a Pisces, in the chart, Pisces, the Saturn and Neptune just left your sign, right? And so that was the energy of you dreaming about things, feeling how it would feel if this fantasy energy would ever take place. And now you got to put your money where your mouth is because Aries is like, go, 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 go. It's time to get it going. So look, this conjunction hasn't happened in more than 300 years. This is unprecedented times. Look, I know you're getting tired of living in unprecedented times, but even in the zodiac, even there, things are moving in unprecedented ways. So it is time for action on all the things that you were dreaming about last week. Now you got to put into action here. All right, so we're going to use these cards first, and then we're going to throw some tarot. And at the end of all of this, I'm going to tell you about the brand new sale that's going on for private reads, and we're going to talk about the extended. One more card for Pisces. All right, first of all, let's look at the bottom of the deck. We have, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. All right, look, it could be anything. It could be monetary. It could be emotional. It could be a thought process or a kind word. It could be really anything. Let's look at these ones here. It says, the mule says, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Are you a Pisces with a Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo placement? I could be talking about you, but maybe you just don't like change. It's the ability to not really want to change doesn't really just lie with the fixed signs, although they're slower to change, they can change. But I feel like somebody here doesn't want something to change. We have money will be coming to you. So we could be talking about financial things that are going on. I feel like you've been holding yourself back from your own abundance. That's what it feels like by not wanting to change, not making the change, not actually putting the dreamy, feely kind of plan that you had into action. If you don't, you could be missing out on money. You could be missing out on energy. We've got the parrot. It says here, someone's gossiping about all your secrets. Oh, very interesting. We'll see what comes up with that. It feels like somebody here thinks they know you. Oh, I just heard, if you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. That's a song, right? So it feels like somebody here, I don't think you're going to worry about this person because they never knew you. If what they're saying behind your back here, someone will gossip about all of your secrets, I think that you should probably keep your plans under wraps, I'm going to say. But there is something that is showing up here that is good for you because, we do have this gift you'll be receiving or giving. It says, seek out information that will help you. Maybe you need help in receiving or giving that gift. Let's find out what's going on here. Let's find out what's going on here for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What is going on with you and what is your reset all about, Pisces? I feel like your reset is in your the way you are being visionary. It feels like those things that you were dreaming about, hoping about, feelings about. I feel like now you're going to be putting those things into action because that is what this transit is all about. This conjunction in Aries is all about. And it's happening right next door, right? You're Pisces, first end of the zodiac, and first of the zodiac is Aries. So it's happening very close to you in your neighborhood. We've got the Knight of Wands. There's the action we were talking about. Yes, so I want to say that if you've been feeling stuck, or like something is never going to change, I feel like this is the time when you get movement. It's probably going to happen in the next week or so. And this is the time where things are finally going to change. But I really feel like it's an aggressive push. It feels like this energy is sort of pushing you forward to be brave about something. And I think that this Six of Cups has something to do with it. Someone may have been stuck in nostalgia, stuck in the dream energy, right? This is water, right? Dreaming, feeling about something. Maybe you were dreaming about, gosh, I wish I had more money. Gosh, I wish I could get that job and get more money, because we have money will be coming to you. So We could be stuck in nostalgia about easier times that financially. We do have the Two of Pentacles. There is a decision that's being made. So it says here somebody will gossip about your secrets, but I feel like you were planning on making a decision anyway, so let them say what they're going to say, because I feel like you've got the plan. I feel like when you hear that somebody here is gossiping about you behind your back about whatever your plans were, or maybe they're saying, look, Pisces has always got their head in the clouds, right? Pisces is dreaming about things, fantasy about what the future forward looks like, but they're never taking any action. I feel like that's going to be different for you going forward now because of this transit. It's going to get you up off your butt, and somebody might be calling you stubborn. Look, you could have a Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo placement. Or maybe something here is just taking you a really long time to decide on. I think it's because of past memories. It feels like you didn't want something to go quickly because you know that in the past you've moved too quickly and it didn't work out for you. So I feel like you are stuck to some sort of nostalgia from the past, but I feel like that's the reason that you always move slowly toward a goal. The Knight of Pentacles is going to take forever. Doesn't care about the outcome. Like, yes, it'd be nice to have the outcome, but I'm really more invested in the journey. I'm invested in the analytics. How long is this going to take to find the next piece of information that will get me closer to the outcome? There's 3 Pentacles here. I feel like you are going to be rebuilding financially, or you will be building because you have some sort of windfall coming here, Pisces. We have the 4 of Swords. I feel like somebody here is not only healing their expectations or healing this dreamy Neptunian energy. I feel like you have decided that I'm going to say something. And I don't care who it bothers. I'm going to say something. It feels like somebody here is no longer in the wobble. Just looking at the way she's holding on to these swords here, you can see that there's 3 on the bed and there's 1 in her hand. I think somebody here is dreaming about standing up for themselves, getting clarity, saying something, being honest and truthful. And I feel like there's something here that you were wobbling on that I feel like you're healing the wobble. Is what you're doing. It does feel like you add the 3rd leg to the stool and now it is stable. It feels like stable energy or the rebuilding of something. It just took you a long while. That's all. But I think you have someone smack talking you, saying things about you behind your back, how you're never gonna have any more than you have, or you're never gonna progress because you're too stubborn to move forward. We have the 8 of Pentacles. The thing is what they didn't see behind the scenes here is that you are actually working super hard. You're working really hard for your abundance. You're working really hard for your future. The 8 of Pentacles tells me that, before you can move forward to the 9 of Pentacles, where you're really confident, where you are building something that is finally gaining stabilization, you have to first work on the self. You can't just skip to the good part. You can't just skip over all of the things that you've been ignoring for years and expect that the foundation you're building is going to be stabilized. I feel like it's taking you longer because I feel like you had some work to do on you. And I don't think anybody told you had to do work on you. I think it came to a realization for you. It feels like this realization was, you know what, that maybe these thoughts that I have in my head are what are making me wobble. I feel like I need to find the truth, or I need to heal whatever has been holding me back from the past, that South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. I feel like you get to work. You get to work on yourself. And don't forget, Pentacles are not just about money. It's health, time, effort, energy, money, intention, right? And so I feel like this transit for you is resetting for you, is you putting action behind something, putting your money where your mouth is, and no longer living with the results from the past. You may have decided you don't want to make a decision about a relationship because in the past you were hurt. Well, it's not like that person is like everyone you're going to meet in the future, but a lot of people will paint everyone with one brush. Like they'll paint all men with one brush, or all women with one brush, or all sign. Like maybe you have one sign that did you wrong, and now everybody in that sign must be like that. When you know full well that the moon and the rising sign are far more important than the sun. We've got the Justice card. So look, I feel like you are taking off out the gate, running at something, because now you feel the urgency in it. It feels like you feel as though you've waited too long. But I think what you were waiting for is stabilization. I feel like you were waiting for something to make you feel harmonious or stable before you moved forward to do the right thing. Yeah, look at that. You needed more information. That's what it was. You were fact-finding. That's what this Eight of Pentacles is about. This is Virgo energy, and Virgo's not going to make no damn steps forward unless they have all the analytics. And so I feel like this Page of Swords is telling me that you were observing. You were observing the path. You're putting things down on paper. You were making a plan. You wanted to be able to make a decision. Two swords, one in each hand, right? You were trying to make a decision here, making sure you had all of the information before you moved forward. We've got the Six of Pentacles. And is there anyone out there that's going to help me with this? Am I going to get breadcrumbed, or am I going to get reciprocal energy? So I feel like you've decided that you've got to do it alone. I'm just going to say, tell me what this Two of Pentacles is about, because I feel like you were wobbling on an idea, or have I healed enough? Have I done enough work on myself? That's what it feels like here. Let's look at the Six of Cups here, because I feel like this is the thing that's been holding you back from your abundance, or holding you back from making more money at work, or maybe you didn't want to switch jobs. Maybe you're like, but I've been here for 10 years. I've got tenure here. And now I'm going to have to start from the beginning. It feels like the Six of Pentacles tells me that you're going to be making more, or someone is going to give you more than you've had before. If you can just get out of the Six of Cups energy. I think you do, because the Three of Wands is here. And that tells me that you decide there is no value. Seven of Pentacles. There's no value in sitting in the Six of Cups. I've got to move forward into the future. If I'm going to get this done, I've got to work harder. I've got to reassess the situation and make a different decision and start to build in a different direction. Building is the Three of Pentacles, right? That is the foundation. But the Seven and the Three, what are they? 10 of Pentacles. You're building now for the future. I feel like you were stuck somewhere, but I think that you were stuck in the analytics. I don't think it was because you were stubborn, but it does say here, maybe other people on the outside looking in would call it stubborn, because maybe that's the only word that they have to describe about you not doing something that they would have done. So don't let anybody else put their expectations on you. But I feel like that you finally move forward from whatever you were attached to in the past. I think it was a failure, some sort of a failure or something. Like, I don't really believe in failure. I believe in lessons. So I feel like you got a lesson you didn't like back there. And so you said, well, that's it. I'm not going to attempt this ever again in my whole life, because that lesson was really hard. I think somebody shows up in your life that gives you reciprocal energy and helps you realize that you can reset. And so I feel like when the Knight of Wands shows up, you're now feeling brave enough to move forward. So I feel like this Two of Pentacles is a bit of a wobble. You're like, but what if it doesn't work out for me and I lose everything I've planned? Tell me about the Two of Pentacles. We have the World card. We have the King of Swords. You get, oh, I love this. The Sun and the King of Swords together is chef's kiss, is what it is. It feels like the World card is here. You stop wobbling. You stop wobbling, you stop waffling, you stop juggling. I feel like you finally say, no, that's it. I've got to leave here. I've got to leave the relationship. I've got to leave the job that's not paying enough, where they keep taking advantage of me. I've got to leave these memories behind. I can't paint you can't paint all men with one brush. I can't paint all women with one brush. And I can't paint a zodiac sign with one brush. Somebody here comes to a realization that they needed better clarity. And I feel like the wobble stops because the World card is here. You end some sort of wobbly chapter in your life. This is literally the reset. That's what we're talking about here. So you gain clarity. The Sun, you have a breakthrough in the mind. You have a mental breakthrough. Oh gosh, maybe I just needed to speak up and just say to somebody, look, I'm done here. If you're not going to give me more than what I'm worth, then I'm done here, because I've done way too much work on myself to just hang out and wait and hope that you're just going to give me what I want. I'm just going to go out and get it. I think the King of Swords would do that. So I think you're just going to be honest with somebody here. about what it is that I feel like you have the breakthrough, the mental breakthrough, the clarity of the mind, and you start spitting facts. You're like, the fact's this, the fact's that. And I think that this person is jealous. I'm just going to say this person, it says someone here will gossip about your secrets. I feel like you out your own secrets. I feel like you're like, nah, I'm here to tell you something straight up, and I'm going to be honest, and you better sit down and listen, because I'm only saying it once. I feel like you have some sort of a breakthrough here, Pisces, and it feels like it's a mental breakthrough. I feel like you've realized that you do have the confidence to say what you want, that you've healed long enough, that you've worked on yourself long enough. 9 Pentacles is here, and it took you a long time to get into this energy of confidence, but I feel like you are finally here, and I feel like that is what your reset is, that you stop living in the past, living in the dream world, living in your feelings, living in the dreaming energy, and you start to put action behind the things that you want. So we have the 5 of Swords, we have the 5 of Pentacles, and we have the 2 of Swords. You know what I think? I think that all that work you're doing on yourself is removing barriers. It's removing obstacles for you. I feel like working on yourself, 8 of Pentacles, and really digging into the analytics of what has built you to here, what's built you in your confidence. I feel like, first of all, 2 5s showing up one after the other is lovely, because that means quick change is coming. And I feel like the quick change that's coming is you stop believing what you're seeing. You stop believing what people are telling you. You start doing the things that you want to do based on your intuition. You start making decisions based on what you want internally. You start listening to the inner self, because that's what that's why this person's got the blindfold on, right? I feel like you decide, I'm no longer going to feel the 5 of Pentacles. It's a decision, right? That's what 2s are. 2s are about deciding something. And intuitively, you've decided, I'm not going to feel in this energy anymore. I'm not going to feel in lack. I'm not going to feel like I have less, because I feel like you've done a lot of work on yourself. And I feel like that work has really brought you to the place where you're no longer lying to yourself. 7 Swords, right? I feel like it is helping you dispel the combat that you had to carry everything for everyone. I feel like your reset, my friend, is building your own foundation for the future and moving forward into the future where there is adventure, where you can make your own decisions. You're moving away from the past, the dreamy feeling energy of shit that didn't go down right in the past. You're giving the future a chance. And that's what I think your reset is. We are going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be in the extended, then please look in the pinned comment, which is at the top of all the comments, my friend. We're going to put down 3 cards. We're going to talk about what the outcome might be or what your advice might be. We're going to talk about all of that in the extended. Plus, we're going to clarify all of this. So if you're interested in that, please hit the link for the membership area. I will be doing later on a reading just for the membership area. And if you are interested in a private read, look, you're going to be seeing this on the 20th. So happy birthday. Just like that. We are looking at Pisces energy. So we are in Pisces season. Happy birthday, my friends. Tell me when your birthday is. I want to say happy birthday to you. And if you are interested in a private read, please know that the sale begins today on your birthday. So happy birthday, 10% off all of the pre-recorded readings. And please take the code that is in the pinned comment, Reset 2026. I have devised a specific reading for this if you're interested in your particular reset based on your own energy. Please go take a look at the pricings, 10% off for the next 2 weeks until the 4th of March. And if you're interested in booking a pre-recorded reading, please do that. If you're interested in a live reading, please look at my schedule and book accordingly. You will get between 5 and 75% off your pre-recorded bookings. So we're going to go and we're going to talk about this because I feel like you're letting go of something that has been weighing heavy on you or weighing you down. We're going to, I like that. That is good energy to start with. Oh, look at this. I love that. Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Two of Wands. You're putting a plan into action, my friend. A plan that you have been thinking about for a really long time. You finally get clarity on it. Let's find out exactly what happens during your reset, because you're about to get a lot of victories that I don't think that you thought would ever happen. Because with Saturn and Neptune and Pisces, it was making everything cloudy. It was like walking in muddy water, right? It was making everything super cloudy. Now you're going to have some clarity and some action. Let's talk about that in the extended. I'll see you there if you'd like to be there. Thank you, Pisces, for coming here and watching. I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys so much. I'm going to go for now. Happy birthday to you. Bye-bye.